Alright guys, I'm here doing a video with you guys, trying to get caught up on a few things that I bought. Figured I'd share it with you guys. Got a little project at work. It's actually a 6.0 diesel. I do have the fittings to do an air pressure check, but I seen these on Amazon. I went ahead and bought them. My oil pressure, master oil pressure tester kit actually comes with the fittings that actually fit the ICP. So that's what I wanted, was the one that actually went into the IPR regulator, so I didn't have to use my scanner to actually bypass the IPR, close it off so it wouldn't run back to the pan. So that was the reason why I bought this kit. This kit was like $16, and what it came with was actually this IPR socket. Did not come with this, and I'll share this with you here in a minute, but it did come with O-rings for the IPR and a screen. Come with an IPR block off, which actually has a quarter pipe thread, so you can actually put an air fitting with a ball valve on it to actually pressurize it. And same with this, it's 1/4 inch pipe thread, and I believe this is 2 different sizes for the earlier 2003 and earlier, and for 2004 and later, because the threads were different on the IPR as well as the location of the IPR. So they gave you these 2 adapters here as well. So that being said, I actually had a few of these sockets already, and one of them was this guy right here, which is this snap-on socket. Let's flip this around, which is a 56190. This is a snap-on socket. I've had this for a while. You can see that it's gotten used a little bit. Socket is actually a lifesaver. You can get it out with a wrench, but if you're trying to not take a bunch of stuff off or anything like that and just remove the expansion tank and actually access it, this socket is a lifesaver. I already had this, but with this kit right here that you see that I just showed you, it was $16 and it came with the socket. I don't know how the quality of this socket is. It already seems a lot thinner than the snap-on. The weight difference is a lot. This socket's a lot lighter than this one, so the quality of the socket may not be the greatest. I don't know how well it's going to work, or eventually if it's going to crack or not. But for $16, I'm not complaining. I'm always down to have a backup plan, in case something happened to this. This is a lifetime warranty, but if I had to get the job done, at least to have this. And the whole reason for buying this, like I said, was actually to get this guy. And this is the IPR block off, so that you can actually pressurize it through the IPR and not have to use the scanner to close the IPR while you're pressurizing it through the ICP. So that was the whole reason for buying this, was just for this one fitting, but I figured I'd share that with you guys. Like I said, that's going to be my little project this weekend. And we're going to see if the stand rail pipes blew out, the dummy rail pipes blew out, or if it's the actual high pressure pump itself. While we're in there, we're going to do some glow plugs and probably do the nipple O-rings on the fuel or oil rail. So, and this socket right here was actually a separate purchase. It was like $9.99, and this is actually to do the nipple O-rings, or yeah, the nipple O-rings for the oil rail. This is an oddball size right here. And this just goes down in there, and then you can see there's a hole to center up the nipple that goes down in the injector. So that's what takes these out. It takes a 1/2 inch socket, and I'm not sure what size this is. I believe it's 15/16, either or, and they get torqued to 100 foot-pounds. So that's what this socket is. Altogether, for everything that you see here in the picture, I got roughly maybe 25 bucks after tax. So I thought this was a really good deal. This is actually going to be able to allow me to get the job done, diagnose it correctly. And like I said, I don't have to use my scanner now to actually, close the IPR. Because if you, like I said, if you pressurize it through the ICP, you're just going to push air back through and it's going to run back into the oil pan on the return side, because the valve is open and you have to command it shut to actually pressurize the system. So that's the only downfall to using these brass fittings. Like I said, and that was the reason for me buying this kit, so I could obtain this particular piece right here. If you look online and you buy it with the hose and the gate valve and everything else, this is like $150. And like I said, this whole thing here cost me roughly $25, even with the purchase of this separate purchase of $9 or $10 or whatever it was. So I thought I'd share that with you guys, and that's what my weekend's going to consist of, is tearing into a 6.0. And even when I bought that socket, it came with the actual injector nipple O-rings. These are supposed to be nitrile. I actually have some coming that are orange, and I'm going to replace them with those. I don't know what the quality of these are, but they did come with the socket as well. So like I said, I share that with you guys, and this is what my weekend is going to consist of. And we're going to see if we can get this service truck up and going. Alright guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Give me a like, share, and subscribe. If there's anything here you'd like to see more of, let me know, and I'll try to get you some part numbers or whatever it may be. Like I said, all this here that you see other than the snap-on socket was purchased on Amazon. And you can buy the socket, the O-rings for the IPR, and these guys here. All this right here you can buy for 16 bucks. This right here is $9 on Amazon. And if you wanted to, you could look up the socket. I did give you guys the part number. This is a snap-on socket. I'm not sure what these are going for. I've had this one for years. But that being said, you guys can look it up and see how much it is. Like I said, I purchased all this because it was just a reasonable price. And like I said, you always got to have a backup plan. And even if you never use this, it's nice to have if you got in a bind and broke this one. So that being said, that's where we're at, and we'll talk to you guys later. I'll let you know how it worked out. Have a good night.